This is round 3 of the Caterham 270R Championship and we're heading to Zandvoort. We are heading to Zandvoort. We're on the ferry right now. Bonjour, we are in Francais. We've made it to France and now basically we've got to drive straight through it. We might stop for a little croissant or something like that, but pretty much eyes on the road. We've got about 5 hours to Zandvoort. We've got to drive through Belgium and then we end up in Holland. Almost in Amsterdam. We're an hour away from the track and I'm sick and tired of driving. I can't believe there's a racetrack this close to the beach. I'm stoked to be here. Look at the size of that grandstand. There's going to be like 3 people sat in that, but it doesn't matter because it looks epic. Dan has fully kitted out the trailer and made this epic table for A, story stuff in the trailer, big tyre rack, and B, it's all removable so we can take it into the garage. Wow. Wheels. What's up, shaggers? After an incredibly long day of travelling, we got set up, I washed the cars down, ready for the next day's testing. It's Thursday morning, Dan stayed up all night, got the cars sorted, we're getting fueled up, we're ready to go out for session 1. Let's see how we get on. It's rolling, that's rolling, let's go. Coming out, I've sat on my belt. Right, let's go, this is my first impressions. It is Thursday morning testing, first session out. Let's see what this track's all about. That rhymed! Okay, let me warm her up. Cold, she cold. Oh, first impressions, that wall is very close and it is so candid. What the hell? Oh my god. The sim does not do this place justice at all. Oh my god. Oh my god. Feels so gripped up, that's unbelievable. Oh, you really got a break here. Oh, it's so banked, that is epic. Apparently this last corner is new for the F1, so it's banked apparently. There's off-camber entry, squeeze the throttle on. Oh, look at that! I'm a NASCAR driver! Look, mama made it! That is epic! Oh my god, that is scary as fuck. Sandy, I can see a lot of sand coming up off the back of David's car there. Better not rear end my teammate, that'll be no good. Especially because he knows where he's going and I don't. Ah, I'm wide as hell. I don't know if you're heading deep or... Oh, I picked the 4th, I don't definitely want to be in 4th. Look at this toe! That is insane! Look at that! Easy overtake! That toe is stupid! To be honest, I've never been so starstruck at a track before. I need to come in though, because I think my tyres have red off. Right, car's absolutely epic, I've got no feedback there. Rear tyres started to get a bit hot, I think. Fantastic, mate. Car feels great. Pushing through the roof. Through the roof, yeah, I was losing my rear. The track's nuts. It's stupid. I've just been racing with David for a few laps. I don't even know where I'm going. Hopefully now the tyre pressure is sorted, this should be a lot easier. Hey, look behind me again, it's David. Whoa, hello Lou. Videos do not do this track justice, I swear. That is insane. Bloody hell. Epic stuff. I'm absolutely buzzing. You can probably hear me screaming like a little girl going around that track, but it just blew my mind. The track is way above and beyond of whatever I thought it was going to be. I'm screaming in my helmet, and I've never been so starstruck by a track like this before. Got 2 days worth of practice, so we can really dial in. Oh, I mean, the car's epic. It's way better than me at the moment, but dial myself in, dial in all my braking zones, dial in everything, and then hopefully tweak the car a little bit if we need to get a bit more performance out of there. But I won't be able to get the performance out of the car until I get the full performance out of me first. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more testing. Now this is an absolute dream of mine. I never ever in a million years would have thought I'll be racing at Zandvoort in a caterham in my whole life. This is absolutely a crazy experience for me, and I just wanted to take it all in. So here's some lovely B-roll. So I did not want to take a second of this for granted. So day 2 of testing over, we then went straight into qualifying. Qualifying couldn't have got any better for me. We managed to put it on pole by 0.2 of a second. I got an extremely clean run with a really good double toe, so that was enough to secure me pole. Right, interrupting this episode, Zach is currently P1. He's running in first place, there's about 10 minutes left, and he's had an absolute epic run. I don't know if he got a mega toe or what, but he's leading by 0.5, which is massive in caterham racing. We shouldn't be this close to the pit wall with a checkered shirt on, but Zach is now in P2. Zach hasn't come around for the last few laps. Everyone else has done 7, he's done 5, so it must mean he's in the gravel or he's had a mechanical. He's still in P2. Still P2.
What's happened? He's done a wheel bearing or something.
So Zach has done a wheel bearing or some mechanical wrong with his car. And what's your password? I don't know if he's still holding P2. Can you put your password in? Moment, let me refresh. Zach's still P2. Still front row. This is last lap 58 seconds. Absolute flyer. That's way faster than he's done it in testing all day. So fingers crossed. That's nice. That's not what we were looking for, but that is nice. Dude, buddy!
Unreal.
That's epic.
Yeah.
That is so good.
From following you and testing. Damn, you're easy.
This is actual footage of me and Zach testing together. We managed to get a testing session where we were both racing at the same time, and it was absolutely epic. Look at some of these shots Zach got from the GoPro. It looked phenomenal. Anyway, back to racing. I had a pretty good start considering that I crunched third gear. Held first place for a number of laps, and then I got challenged into turn 1 by Roger, but I managed to run on the inside. I used quite a lot of track there on the inside that I've never used before, but it seemed to be very grippy. So a few laps later, we're coming into turn 3, and you know, in testing, I was like, I'm not really sure what the line is around there, but anyway, I then learned that you ring it round the outside and you get such an amazing run out of it. This is me overtaking Freddie on the inside, so I know that move can work now. That is quite a solid move for me. I've made a big enough gap. I've actually dropped Freddie from behind because the toe was so good, but coming into this corner now, it's just a sharp lift and a bit of a chuck, and the car just floats all the way around it. Probably one of the funnest corners. Now we're coming on to the back straight a few laps later. Freddie's in front. I've managed to pull back, and this is just me showing you what a toe does. So look at this. So I'm tucking him right behind him in his slipstream. I managed to change up to 5th gear, and look at the speed difference. I just shoot past him. So that's how important the toe is here. I picked up another 10 mile an hour just from getting in behind him, and that made me clear easily into turn 1. Right, so now they're all behind me, so what I'm thinking is I pull over, let them pass, pull back into the slipstream, and look, now just see the car pick up and come back to life. As soon as I click 5th, it starts pulling even harder and then up the inside. And that means I only lost 1 place out of this corner instead of 2, just because how good that slipstream is. So we're now coming up the hill. This is a dodgy move that Roger made, was clearly 4 wheels off. We are racing in FIA rules because we are abroad, so you're allowed 3 wheels off as long as 1 wheel is touching the racetrack at all times, but there was clearly 4 wheels off, which led him to a 10-second penalty later on. But anyway, coming in here, Roger gets it all a bit sideways, and I've just missed it. I managed to pull it back onto line. He's taken an inside line, but I've managed to still ring it round the outside and take the advantage. Now is a few laps to go, getting a big toe up the inside. Who's going to brake later? Oh, pretty late on the brakes. I managed to hug the inside yet again, gaining 1 space but losing another, but that's not too bad because I know that I'm faster than Freddie up the hill. So I managed to take him later on, and then this is me and Freddie going side by side into this corner, which didn't really work. What I should have done was hold in and tuck behind him. This is the last lap, so I really made a mistake there, letting 2 in instead of 1, but I know I want to be at least 3rd or 2nd coming over the start finish line. But look, Roger does something very silly. He pulls over, and I think what he's meant to do was pull over to then pull back into our toe, but realised I was right on Freddie and he dropped miles too far. But this means that I now get the good run over the finish line, but I just didn't quite time it right. We're getting the good run up, but the finish line comes up too short and Freddie just gets the win. So that's the 1st place for Freddie, 2nd for me, 3rd for Roger. So we've just finished day 1. What an absolute epic day. Race 1 was a bit hairy, but we managed to get through alive, and we finished P2, which is good. There was a few incidents, like I got overtaken completely off off the track by another driver, and so did the guy in front of me as well. So he got a 10-second penalty, which has pushed him right back down the grid. So Theo's behind me for race 2. See if I can learn from my mistakes in race 1. I led for most of the race, but then yeah, it was a bit tit for tat, and I didn't quite manage to tow him over the line. It was super close, but didn't quite make it work. But hopefully tomorrow I can put it on pole. That'll be a dream. I'm just going for a track walk now. It's sunset here, and yeah, I'm going to show you around Zandvoort. No, it is wild. This camera does not do this corner justice. It is absolutely banked, but you can like ring it around the outside of this one. Look at it. How steep is it?
So steep.
When you walk these tracks, you don't realise how steep some of these corners are and how uphill and downhill certain bits are. Like, I didn't know some of this was actually uphill. Having a bit of lunch, dinner. Whoa. So this is literally 2 seconds away from the racetrack. Me and James, David peeking on them. Right, I'm not sure how much you're going to hear or which direction's better, but we are literally right on the beach in Zandvoort right now. This is the little restaurant that we went and had dinner, and it was amazing. The food was epic, so picturesque and lovely. So right, enough of that. Let's get back into race 2. So this is the next day. David has kindly lent me his footage because his was much better than mine. But look at this start. He got an absolute stonking start. Made 2 places into turn 1, which is absolutely epic. Right, now a few laps later, he's joined the front 3 pack. So I'm in the middle. I've got a big wobble on. That is quite a large wobble. I don't think that went to plan, but I managed to hold on to the back of him and followed him back into turn 3. Right, coming in now, I've managed to make a really good move up the inside here. Just squished him to the outside through that fast section. Theo's run wide, big lock up, and then I almost follow him off. And that means somebody has come down our inside, but it's okay because now I've got a slipstream on them coming 3 abreast. Going 3 abreast, so I've got the outside line, which isn't really the commonly best use of line for a right-hander, and I managed to brake late, turning, give Theo enough room. He bounces off the curb, and I get into 2nd place. Right, we're coming down the main straight now, and it's squeezed against the pit wall. A guy made a move up the pit wall, and there was not quite a Caterham size there, so he knocked a few of his wings off, but that was terrifying. Right, we're coming in now. David has joined the lead pack. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us all ready to get the lead now. This is last lap. He holds him off. He goes straight past Matt Larby with a brilliant tow, and that brings him home in P4. And what an amazing drive. So what we missed from my footage there is I managed to get the slipstream of all slipstreams and pull Roger over the line by 0.002 of a second. It was almost a dead heat, but I managed for the line, which gave me 1st place.
Man, it was close. 0.002 of a second. Yes.
So swiftly moving on to the last race of the weekend, I got another brilliant start, obviously starting on pole and led for quite a few laps, and then obviously the tow pulled the rest towards me. This is Freddie going up my inside. I just lift off, let him behind him, snatch up another gear, and then back down the inside. That trick never got old for me. That was so fun. I really enjoyed it because you really had to time it perfectly. Right, coming back onto the back straight now, I can see Freddie's really close to me, so I just ride up this bank. This bank's a lot steeper than you think. I ride up it very slightly, and then I cut back down behind both of them, and this meant that I could keep my foot in, but I just ran extra bit wider, and this meant that I could easily tuck in behind them and then make a run into the last corner. Look at that slipstream. I've picked up so much speed, and I could easily clear them into turn 1, which has put me on the direct driving line, and this means I can gap them out of here. But it won't be for long because of the nature of the track and the tow will just pull them straight back in, as you can see. Look, there was a safety car here because somebody went off. That was me reminding Kendall. Have a look at the lights. And right, so after 2 laps of safety car, we're pulling back in. And now, this is what's going through my mind is, how long do I want to leave it? I want to leave it last minute so they can't get the tow, and I want to throw them off as much as I can when they're swerving so they don't know when I'm going to accelerate. I've managed to pull a massive gap, and I thought this was the last lap. So if you see, I'm right on the edge. I thought this was last lap, and I'm gapping them. I'm right on the limit of the car. Come through, I see the last lap board. I was like, oh no! But anyway, not the end of the world. I've got 1 more lap to fight them off. So up the inside, holding the lead. I think Freddie manages to make the undercut. So now this is an absolute brawl on the last lap to see who can go over the finish line first. We're coming into turn 3. I know I'm really strong here, so I've just lifted off, let a bit of a gap happen, get on the throttle hard and squared up early, and look, I get this amazing toe down the back. This was one of my strong points through this section, so I can hold it right up the inside, keep my foot in. We're well over 100 mile an hour now. Coming into the last section now. This is the last sector. I know I have to get a good run here, or I've got to let them overtake me before now. So I'm looking in my mirrors and I'm thinking, what's the tactic here? Look, I've managed to pull quite a good gap, so I'm like, right, I'm going to make the run for it because I think I can beat them over the finish line. Look, that gap's looking good. I should be able to get them. The finish line is closer than the start line. So I'm thinking I've got this, but then looking in my mirrors, they just decide to pull on me so quickly. That toe is so strong, but by the time I managed to pull in and pull out, that was first to third place just in a few tenths of seconds. But what an absolutely epic race. I couldn't have been more happy with how I drove, and a bit of a strategy fault, but you know, you never know them sort of things. What an absolutely wicked weekend. Thank you to everyone that made it possible. It was absolutely fantastic results. Had such a blast this weekend. And thank you to everybody that made it possible. So Quadlock, Walero, Woodford, EBC, everyone, Hardline, who ran the car amazingly throughout the event. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you at the next race at Silverstone.